So I was doing some journaling and I was thinking about uniqueness and how difficult it is nowadays to stand out in anything that you do because the world is so crowded, right? There's a million fitness trainers out there. There's a million other people on YouTube creating talking head videos just like I'm doing right now. So you ask yourself the question, how do I set myself apart so that people are drawn to me over the 10,000 other people there are speaking about the exact same thing? And the answer that I came up with is your reason why. At this day and age, the only thing that's going to set you apart is not going to be the most fancy sales funnel. It's not going to be the best business model. It's not going to be being the best at anything. It's not about being the best. Not at this point. At this point, it's about how connected you are to your reason why. How often do you ask yourself why you're doing what you do? Because your reason why influences how you conduct yourself. Your reason why influences the people that are going to be attracted to you. And your reason why ultimately will influence the direction that your life is headed in. So when you're saying, hey, I want all of these clients, I want these people to come to me and give me their hard-earned money, you got to ask yourself why you're doing it in the first place. And don't get me wrong, times get hard. So I understand if you're doing something particularly for the money, but money can't be the primary reason for you to do anything in life because money is energy. Money is the byproduct of you servicing someone else's needs. You still need a reason why beyond the money. So beyond you needing or wanting extra income to support your lifestyle, your family, your friends, what's your reason why? Do you like fitness because it makes you feel good? Does it hold you accountable for yourself? Are you superficial and want extra likes on social media? That's the first point that I want to hit with this is that your reason why has to be something that's real. You can't give yourself a sugar-coated reason why. It can't be like, oh, I just really want to do well and like take care of my family. So does everybody else. I'm not saying that can't be your reason why. I'm just saying like get real with yourself. Get real. If it's for superficial reasons, you can take that to the bank. Be superficial, lean into it. When people say to lean in, what they're really saying is to become intertwined and connected with your reason why. I had to sit with myself for a couple of moments. Mind you, I didn't say minutes, I didn't say hours, a couple of moments. I sat with myself for a few moments prior to shooting this video, and I asked myself, why am I shooting a video to begin with? Like, yeah, I have the great information, I got a page full of notes here, but why am I doing this? And it took me a moment to realize that the reason I'm shooting this video is because you, the viewer, are super talented, you're super hungry, you have everything that it takes, and you know you do. However, life's distractions are derailing you, and you're a little bit more disconnected from your reason why than you need to be in order to find success. So my point in sitting in front of this camera right now is I want to give you some practical ways to not only get connected with your why, but become a whole lot more effective in your business model. So way number one that I have is to remove as many external distractions and influences as you possibly can. I'm reading a book right now called Digital Minimalism, and the author, his name is Cal Newport. And he has something that he calls a digital declutter. And what it is it's a 30-day removal of all social media, all internet, all media that is not necessary. So granted, if for your work you have to use LinkedIn like I do, go ahead and use it, but only minimally. Use it for what you need and leave the rest for later, right? But for 30 days, you want to declutter your mind as much as you possibly can because as he says, clutter is costly. It's costing you money, it's costing you energy, it's costing you emotional roller coaster. It's so costly. So you have to declutter your mind. You have to basically wipe your slate clean. That means that you probably shouldn't be having unnecessary conversations, gossiping about, what the next Joe Blow is doing. Like, you need to be with yourself. I actually went out last night. I went to an event at an art museum, and I live in Atlanta, so it was lit. Thousands of people there, and DJ, drinks, you name it. It was freaking lit. And because I'm doing my digital declutter right now, I was able to be present. But I noticed that there were so many people on their phones, not necessarily knowing what to do with themselves. And they would just pick up their phone and like scroll down their notifications that they already opened 2 weeks ago on Instagram. It's little things like that you'll start to notice. You'll start to see like, oh shit, everybody is distracted and has this clutter. So however you see fit, do a digital declutter of your own. Get off of social media. Get off of it for long enough for you to get bored. Embrace boredom, because boredom is where creativity is born. Where you get bored and say, I have to like stimulate myself with cheap dopamine, that's the moment that you kill your creativity. Okay? So number one, make sure that you remove as many external distractions and influences as possible. Make sure that when you begin to ask yourself the questions of why am I doing this, or what am I doing, or who am I doing it for, make sure that the only answers that you're getting are from you and yourself. You want your soul to be cleansed of all impurities. You don't want anyone else in your head. So kick them out. No one deserves real estate in your head. The second thing that you need to do is recognize that the answers aren't going to come to you like that. And I know for a fact that you've been here before, because we all have, where you ask yourself, what do I want? And you get that little bit of anxiety because you don't have the answers for yourself. And it's that panicking realization that, holy shit, I don't know the answer to my own question. And you start to force it. You start to freak out. It's like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I know? And then you have people like myself on the internet talking about clarity and how important clarity is to reaching your peak and your destiny. And it's like, how the hell do you know? Like, I can't even answer the question that I got for myself. The answers don't come right away. The answers come in the form of your dreams. It comes in the form of your hunches. Maybe you have some deja vu. Maybe you have an aha. You have an aha moment. But the answers, they typically don't come right away. You say, oh, what do I want to do? Who do I want to do it for? You might have like an idea of the answer, but it's pretty fuzzy, right? It's like a magnifying glass or a telescope or whatever you use in biology class when you're looking at a microorganism. You gotta like focus it in. You gotta focus that vision in order to see the specimen, pause, that is your belief, your clarity, and your understanding. So when you ask yourself these questions, what your mind does is your mind begins to scan your past experiences. Your mind begins to scan your environment. Your mind begins to pull in clues from everywhere to create an answer to the question, problem, that you just fed to it. You just told your mind, hey, I don't have the answer to this question. What's the answer? Your brain is like a heat-seeking missile, right? I'll give you a perfect example. If you wake up in the morning and you go to make you a bowl of cereal, right? And you pour the cereal, it's looking good. You got you some Frosted Flakes. And then you go in the fridge and you grab the milk and you pour the milk and it's only like a drop left of the milk. You get pissed off. That's the first reaction, right? What's the second thing that you do? You find something else to eat. And although you didn't know that this was what you were going to be doing when you woke up that morning, you just do it. You just go get it done. That's how your brain works, right? You'll ask it a question that it might not have the answer to, but through you living your life, through you experiencing life, your brain is able to come back to you at a later date with the answer to the question that you had. So it's important for you to be patient with yourself, and that's why a 30-day digital declutter is great, because you're not going to forget the question that you asked. You have felt it before. You ask a question, or you have a thought or an idea or something, or maybe you pick up social media and you forget why you open up the app, because there's so much going on around you influencing your mind. When you declutter your life and that hunch comes back to you, to the answer you asked it 3 days ago, you're gonna be like, I know, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna execute it. And that's how you move with confidence and clarity. Okay? So number one, declutter your life as much as you possibly can. Number two is readjust your expectations. The answers are not gonna come immediately. They're gonna take some time. And number three is to live your life with confidence. Live your life with expectation that everything is going to be figured out. As a matter of fact, this very moment, your life is unfolding. The rest of your life is in front of you. The good old days aren't behind you. The good old days are in front of you. So what you have to do after you have adjusted your expectations is continue to live life, right? And work with what you have now. Maybe you don't have the answers to the questions, but you have that fuzzy idea. And that's why it's so important to just get started and to keep moving, because you don't want to kill your momentum. Any momentum that you have, any momentum is going to give you the opportunity, is going to give your mind the opportunity to draw in information and to put the pieces of the puzzle together. You are never going to be able to force creativity. You're not going to be able to force yourself to stand out from the pack. That doesn't happen. What does happen is you continue living life with an expectation that because you're so interconnected with your reason why, because you're focused and you understand how your mind works, everything works itself out and it always works in your favor. Why? Because it does. Okay? So you have to keep living your life. Every single time you stop and you get discouraged and you say, I'm gonna take a break, and you go over here and you decide to get back to it, it's like stopping your car engine and you try to turn it on and the car is like, it don't want to turn on because like it's been turned off for so long. So you have to keep that creative mind at work. Continue to feed yourself new information, not from the internet though. We call that cheap dopamine. The new generation, they call it gooning. Stop gooning. And if you know what I'm talking about, bro, like stop gooning, because that cheap dopamine is keeping you stuck in this perpetual loop of not being fulfilled. You're unfulfilled. You want more out of life. You know you deserve more out of life, but you know you don't. You know what I'm talking about. So get rid of that guilt. Declutter your life. Understand that the answers are going to come to you in forms that you can't begin to predict, and continue to live your life, but live your life with intention. Every single step needs purpose. Make sure that everything you're doing is on purpose. And lastly, before we close this video out, I want to encourage you every morning and every evening to review whether it's your goals or your reason why. More importantly, review your reason why. If you're ahead of the curve and you already have goals or you have a project to work on, cool. And let's say you do. You have your goals, you got your project you're working on. Write down your reason why and be real with yourself. If it's superficial, then let it be that. If it's for the money, let it be for that. If it's because you want to help other men change their lives and upgrade their mentality, like me, that's your reason why. And revisit it twice a day. And after you have reviewed it, internalized it, let it go. Because now that creative mind, it's at work. And that's a part of your mind that you can't force. That's your subconscious mind doing what it does. So let your subconscious mind work in the background. It's a background tab while you're just out there living your life. Your mind is a computer that you use. Your mind does not use you. All right? Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see if we're a good fit to work together, click the link in the comment box below or the description box. Clearly, this YouTube thing, like, I love it, but I think you get where I'm going with that. But yeah, click that link in the description. Book a 15, 30-minute call with me. We'll talk all about your strengths, your weaknesses, and your goals. And we'll talk about the Lionheart 60 built on 4 different pillars. We'll see if it's a good fit for you. Make it a good one.